Hello, Minecrafters, and welcome to episode 39 of our Direwolf 20 Let's Play series. So, last episode we captured and moved a hungry node, and we've been feeding it, as you can see from here. Now this is actually not gonna stay. The mob grinder that I have outside underground that I collect my mob juice from, that one. Well, I'll go out there in case you haven't seen it. But this mob grinder, I'm gonna say it didn't sound like it was grinding much, but yeah, it is. Anyways, all the random loots, the damaged weapons, the damaged armor, all that stuff, I used to have going to a trash can. And well, since we've got our little hungry node there that is never sated, I figured, well, I'd go ahead and start sending it over there. So I put the diamond chest in and I'd pick it up and take it over and pick it up and take it over. Well, since we're now feeding the hungry node, and my world is run local, so it's not on a server. So the only way to keep this running for an extended period of time is to leave my computer running. And so I did that, and when I got back, my system was pretty much stuffed from all of the non-stackable items. So I made that little pipe to go across that way, and I can actually show you my little system setup over here, because I just realized I haven't done that yet. So I just made a little pipe run over here into my input chest that sends it into this. So what I've got here is this chest is bringing in the oak logs, extra saplings, and apples from our second tree farm out there, and I'll show you that in a minute. And that inputs them into this chest. Well, it inputs the logs into this chest when they come in, like that. The rest, the saplings and apples, go over here, and then from there go into there. And the reason I put this buffer here is just so that I could double check and make sure of what was going, making sure that none of my wood was going over there. Because once you export it, you can't, a lot of times it'll pull it out of here before you ever even get a chance to see it. And that's the reason for this up here as well. So what I've got here is I've got the logs coming in here, and then I've got my inventory controller over here. It's on this line, it is crafting wood planks and putting them back in this box. Then this trigger is taking those and crafting them into crafting tables and putting them into this box. Now, the reason for that is originally I had it going over here. And I don't know why, but for some reason the inventory manager kept putting the planks into the ender chest. And then, of course, the ender chest would drop the parts out on the other side and feed it to the hungry node. And then they weren't there to make the crafting table. And I've looked through this and cannot find on this side where or why it was ever going over there, because see, my excess inventories is going to the diamond chest on the crafting, and my input is the diamond chest, and my output is the diamond chest. In none of these is the ender chest ever selected. So I don't know if it was a lag issue or a glitch or what. So I ended up outputting everything to this chest. And then I have an extract with a filter here to insert the planks back over here. That way, if my inventory manager happens to drop planks over here, the extract's going to pull it out, but it's going to send the planks over here instead of putting them here. Because even though this is a full insert, this is an insert with a higher priority to pull the wood planks over here. And then this crafter is going to look for, well, if I don't stop hitting the wrong button, it's going to look in the chest. Come on now. It's going to look in the chest, and the item it's looking for are the wood planks so it can make the crafting table. And then it will output that into this diamond chest, which is this one. So it seems to be running a lot better now. But like I said, and then just extraneous stuff that I'm throwing away. All of these, the leather tunics and chainmail and iron swords and all this stuff that I'm not going to keep. Now granted, I could take these, I could repair them, I could pull the enchantments off. I really don't see the need, because all I need are a few items, levels, a buck with a quill, and I can come over here and make just about any of the enchantments I want. And I've got plenty of levels sitting here. And this is purely just off of the Fortune 3 pickaxe that I set up that breaks these. So that has been purely just extra experience that I've done nothing for. Okay, so let me introduce you to our hungry node as it is now. And basically I took the obsidian encasement that I put on last time. Oh, I forgot about the lava. Wait for the fire to go out. I've got good enough armor. I really don't worry that much about the damage. Thank you. Alright, so I had this at 3x3. I made this little clear glass thing, that way I could come over here and just kind of watch it and didn't have to worry about, magnet grabbing that. And it has actually started eating away at the glass. So I thought that was kind of funny. But as you can see, the stuff dropping down, the crafting tables, the apples, and the extra saplings from my second farm are all getting fed into this. Now this far away, it's easier to break the pull. Let's see. Now I've also got a hole on the backside so we can see the actual numbers. And this is after, I'd say 48 hours of feeding it. So it's getting on up there. Now my understanding is when we go to try and tame this node, and I think they call it energizing it, but basically whenever we go to try and harness the energy from this, each of these numbers is going to get squared. So if you had 100 of something, it would end up 10. I think that's right. Or 1 or something. I don't know. It's a lot lower. I don't know a lot about that aspect of this part. That's something that I haven't looked into a lot yet. My main concerns so far have been just getting it here and getting it fed and figuring out the best way to do that. Now you'll notice that my obsidian is taller now. And what I did, if I can get back from it a little bit. And one other thing, the draw on this node pulses. It'll get really strong, it'll get a little bit weaker. And I don't know if it's in conjunction with the pulse of the light or not. But there are times it's a lot easier to get away from it than others. But anyways, like I said, the obsidian around it is 3x3. I took a magnum torch, placed it on the center top, and then put obsidian around that so that I would keep all the mobs from spawning around here, but the hungry node wouldn't eat the magnum torch because they're kind of a pain to make. And so then up here I've got the mate to the ender chest that's inside with a ender IO conduit coming out and just an open crate. So basically, as soon as something hits this, the pipe pulls it out, puts it in the open crate, which drops it out the bottom. That way I didn't have to worry about droppers or any redstone signal cycling or anything like that. It just, as soon as it hits the ender chest, it gets pulled out with the pipe into the open block from Botania and then drops straight down. And that seems to work great. I took a filler and cleared out this area because this is actually the extent of my chunk loader that's over there. It comes all the way to that edge there and goes back and over. And so I did this little area here. And this is the tree farm that is actually feeding that node. And so I've got 2 harvesters set up with radius 6 increases and planters as well. And then I've got the tesseract bringing power out here, and then this is the ender chest that all this dumps into, and then that takes it into the house where it goes into the inventory manager to make planks, then crafting tables, and then from there gets dumped into the node. So I'm using a considerable amount more power. So what I had to do there was I had to tie my reactor back into my house power. So that's what we've got going here. And I did these connections because what happens is, what's the best way to describe this? Okay, the Ender IO conduits can input and output about 20,000 RF, as you can see from the Wayla numbers up there. But that's per connection. That's not throughput. So right now it'll put out about 60,000 RF per tick. It'll take it in, and it'll take in that much from here, and it'll put out just as much because I've got 3 connections up there. So the 20,000 RF per tick, it's actually 20,480, is per connection. And I've actually got these set up for these are specifically output and these are specifically input. Or excuse me, I got that backwards. Yeah, these are extract. So these are pulling the energy out of this cell, and then these are on input, putting it into that cell. And the reason is I did not want my dynamos up here running and trying to charge back to this. So right now I'm running everything on my reactor. So what I did was I came down here and put a chest, and it's just putting yellorium into here and pulling out the, is it cyanide or cyanite? Cyanite. Pulling those out there. And let's see, this is what, 20 million capacity? Yeah, 20 million capacity. And it is set to come on at 40% and go off at 95. So once this gets down to 40 million, I think, no, 80 million. 80 million will be 40% of that. Once that gets down to 80 million, the reactor will cut in and it'll start recharging this capacitor, which will in turn send power up to this capacitor. So basically this capacitor up here will stay full unless something happens down here and all of this gets used up, and then I've still got that little bit of backup up there. Pretty much nothing has changed over here except for one thing. If you'll remember earlier when I was talking about setting up the Ender Quarry with the liquid upgrade, I said I had a lot of problems getting it to work. Well, it has stopped working again, and I did nothing to change it. So do not rely on the liquid upgrade Where is that? Oh, that's down one more level. Don't rely on the liquid upgrade to get all your lava. This is just, I mean, this should have a whole lot more in it. And there's one other issue that I have with the Ender Quarry. And I always go into blaze form before I go into the nether. So, and this has been a pain to clean up. Let's see, I'll just find a random hole that's already been... This is where the trees had grown through, and the quarry digs them out. But it doesn't get these source blocks up here. And so what I actually started doing back here is, and I guess I thought I had all these, I guess not. But going around to each of these, and I don't have one with me right now, but taking a bucket and getting the single source block that it keeps leaving behind. If it would just get that source block, this would be so much better. And I believe that's one of the reasons you can see all the lag that I've got right now is all the running lava. So yeah, I wanted to do whole world because I wanted to see, if anything, what it was leaving behind, rather than filling it all in with dirt. And well, I can see what all it's leaving behind. And there was one other thing that I found very interesting. Not sure if I can spot it yet right now. Go up over these. Might be easier to spot, but well, no, because that's going to get me too far away. I actually found water in the nether, and to me that's kind of bothersome. Let's see, where did you go? I know it was down under one of these quarried areas. No, that's from blood. Blood and lava will also make cobblestone. But I mean, as you can see, it dug through all that and didn't get the blood, even though I've got a barrel dedicated to that. Was it in here? Well, I don't see it now, but there was actually a... Shoot, I was going to show that. Anyways, there was actually a water spring coming out of the bedrock. There was a block that looked like a bedrock block and said that it was a natural spring or water spring or something to that effect. But I don't see it now. Next time I see it, I'll do a quick capture and show that next time. But anyways, I mean, the quarry's doing great. I wish it would clean up better. But anyways, y'all didn't come to hear me complain about that. However, be forewarned. That's what you might expect. But I did find that running, where is it? That should be it. I've actually got a chunk loader here because I had other issues. So this actually seemed to help a whole lot. But let's get back to the house and actually build something today. So in continuing on with our Thaumcraft, and I don't know why I keep on wanting to walk. I keep forgetting that I've got these placed around, and all I've got to do is switch to my other sword and hold shift and go wherever I want to. So I've been doing a lot of research, as you can see. Got a whole lot of things done on that. I've not done any of the items that start giving you warp. I don't know that I won't do them, but I want to find out more about the effects and find out, because I know there are some things, there's tabs on here that you can't get to until you have a certain level of warp. I guess your mind has to be warped enough to do the research. I don't know. But anyways, so I haven't done any of those. I want to find out more about warp before I do that. But I have done quite a few others. Got quite a bit done over here. I haven't gotten into, I don't really know that I need node in a jar, because all this is used for is moving nodes, and node in a jar has a tendency to reduce the power of a node. So with the teleposers that I was using last episode, and I believe the episode before that as well, I really don't see the need for node in a jar. I might do it later just as a completist kind of thing. What was the other? Oh, the research mastery. This is one I will probably do regardless of the warp, but I haven't yet. And let's see. And this is where I had gotten. I got the greater wood wand core, and actually made one of those. And then I researched down to the silver wand core, but I'm gonna have to have an infusion table. And so this is where our building starts today, is building an infusion table. And we may get to, where we're starting to break these down. I'm not sure. When, I don't remember which version it was, but used to, the pipes that they had in Thumbcraft worked. They worked like any other kind of pipes. And then there was another change that made it so that if the pipes weren't exactly right, or if you had two ascensions, or I don't guess they're called ascensions in this, are they? I guess it is. But anyways, if two of these met in a pipe, you'd get a blow off of steam. And so then I got away from using pipes, and I did it manually because I never did the golems because my wife wanted to do those. So gonna look into different ways of doing these, getting these broken down and into the jars. I may get the infusion altar done, get some jars put out and manually do those while I work toward golems, and that way they can run around my farm and do all my work. But anyways, let's build something. So first off is, well, if you've never seen it, this is what it's going to look like, except my setup will have more altars around it. And this is the center layout. The pedestal will need, and the runic matrix. This is kind of like the central hub of the whole thing. So we'll go ahead and start off with it. And what we're going to need are arcane stones, the shards, and an ender pearl. And I've got, I think, everything I'm going to need over here. Let's see. I've got more of that one than any of the others. Ender pearl. I don't know how I'm going to be as far as mana. Where is my wand? Both of my wands are not here. Why is that a thing? Well, first of all, I'm not in Nether now. Okay, let me go back to the house, see if it's over there. I didn't think it'd be in there. See, that shouldn't be able to happen unless, well, I'll find my wand in a minute. But before I do that, this is something else that I forgot about. I wanted to let you know about this. It's so simple, and yet never even thought about it until, I don't know, a few hours before I started recording this episode. I like using the tool racks to put my tools. the biggest issue I have with that, right, I don't have my magnet on, is I'll have an axe and a shovel and a wrench and a builder's wand, and I'll be out crafting and creating and doing all kinds of stuff, and then I'll get onto something else and be in a dungeon and need room and stuff like that, and then I'll look at my pack and I'm like, well, I can get those, but I want to put them on my board. Well, here's the cool thing, is I throw them into my bag and they go right back to my board now. And here's how you do it. Because everything I do comes in that chest up there through my bag and sorts down through these lines before it ever goes into my AE system, I found out that these will actually accept input and output. So on each of these, I'm doing an insert with an item filter and what I want in each board. One thing to keep in mind is items like this that have a durability, you will need to use an advanced item filter and take off your metadata and your MBT data. But basically, I can take everything off of here. How much room I got left? Yeah, I'm good. I can take everything off of here, open my little ender pouch over here, and just chuck them all in. And by the time we turn around, there they are. So I just thought that was the coolest thing. So wanted to share that with you. And the reason I said that, you know, why isn't my wand in that box, is because even if I throw it into my ender pouch from, you know, wherever I happen to be, it will go right there. That should be, nope, that's my Britannia. It'll go into that one, which is my Thaumcraft. And then that gets dumped into that crystal chest that I was looking at. And here I am running again when I've got my teleport. Which that'll come into this chest, which should go here. But I don't see, wrong button. But I don't see my wand in there. So, hold on just a minute and I'll find my wand and I'll be right back. Alright, well, I'm back, and if I cut it in time, I'm back with a bang. So the interesting thing is, they didn't exist. Actually, as sad as it sounds, I had to remake my wooden wand in order to remake my golden banded great wand, which I don't know where it went. Because I mean, I even see no wands here. I even double checked this to make sure it wasn't, you know, throwing it into trash or something like that. And I mean, there they are. So I don't know. Got no idea where they went. So here we go again. Leftover nuggets. All right. So where were we? Ah, yes. Dun, 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 dun. Where? Oh, come on. Ah, there it is. All right, so first thing we're going to do is stone blocks on the corners, shards on the edges, and an ender pearl in the middle. Take the ender pearl first. And then these. That's a lot. Okay, that's that one. Then next on the agenda are the arcane workbenches. And I need, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 12, 13. So basically we take these like that. Crap. That's a little frustrating. Well, I'll have altars extra. Might need. Oh, we'll see. I may need to make some more of those now because I just kind of dripped out on up. All right. Yeah, losing my wand, I'm a little frustrated, but it's all good. All right, so there's an altar there, or pedestal, whatever. Stone bricks. Yep, I'm gonna have to have 4 more. Doggone it. Which means I've got to make 8. And wrong clicked that one. Let's see. Okay. And what else? Craft, go over here. Oh wait, box is over here. Get 1 shard. Put that in there. Wrap that around. Okay. Is that right? Should be right. Okay, so we've got our runic matrix. We've got all of our little arcane pedestals. And we've got stone blocks, we've got the stone bricks, and our arcane pedestal for there. So, let's get this put together. And this shall be our place to put it. This will be our center. And so then I want to go with brick on there, there, and there. I believe that's right. It's been a while since I've made one of these. Yep, the bricks, and then the stone block on top of it. And then an empty space will be even with that. So I'll show you what that means in just a second. So place those. And, well, I'll go ahead and do it this way. Oh, get up there. And then put that there. Then break that one and that one. So you've got the arcane bricks, then you've got the arcane stone block, and then you have your runic matrix. So now what I want to do is to place these. And let's see, I do mine 1 off of each corner. And then from the corner, I want to come in, over, I think that's right. Yeah, that's going to do it. So, into and out 1. And basically what I'm working to do is make this as symmetrical as possible, because symmetry is something that's rather important in the infusion altar. So if we look at that, that should work. Where was the wand? Yeah, because see, you've got how those are spaced out. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You got 7 items around with 1 thing in the middle. If you only do what they show here, they've only got 4 altars. So I'll take this one and move it over and move that one, or put one here and here and there. No, that would move out one. Anyways, this is what mine looks like. Basically, I'll start at this one. I'll skip a square and put that one there. Then I'll come over to and out one. Over to and out one. And then that's my pattern around it. And I'll bet I'm not going to have enough. Yeah, see, I got to have 25 of each, and I know I'm not going to have all that left in my wand. And because I'm in a hurry, I don't think this really affects the no growing, but right now I don't really care, because I just want to get this done because I know we're running short on time. So I'll go ahead and fill it here. It's plenty of stuff to fill it with. And this should activate our infusion altar. And we just go over here and right click that. And now that'll start spinning, and we now have our infusion altar set up. Cool. Still a little frustrating about my wand disappearing. I wonder if at some point I fed it to the hungry node, because that wouldn't surprise me. All the stuff I've been throwing in that thing, I may have inadvertently thrown it in there, who knows. But anyways, we now have our infusion altar. So we can start making a few more things that will go along with this. We can also get some of the essentias jarred up and start infusing some items. But I think that's going to be a good stopping point for this episode. It's been interesting. I'm looking forward to getting deeper into this. The Essentia jugs or jars or whatever you want to call them are kind of a stumbling block for me, getting them set up and getting them running right. But once we can get past that, this will be fun. And Thaumcraft is one that I enjoy because I like some of the magic stuff. I like the tech a little more just because, I mean, to me, it's easier to understand. As a matter of fact, for the blood altar over here, and I did do one addition to it, and that is the runes of sacrifice here. I actually added 40 of these. So now for every villager I kill, instead of 2,000 life points, I get 10,000. So that has made a big difference. Don't have to kill nearly as many villagers now. But like I said, I've got that upgraded, and I've actually got a spreadsheet on these that, you know, tells how much it goes up, and I've got it for the capacity, and I don't have it done on the speed yet, but I'm going to upgrade those anyways. And another one I'm working on is the rune of dislocation. Looked up the percentages that increases, trying to figure out, you know, how many of those I need. But one suggestion I will make: when you're working on upgrading the runestones in your altar, don't expand your tier out too fast. And the reason I say that is, like up here getting to tier 2, you had to have 8 runestones. Well, then you're eventually going to upgrade them. You can't really use regular runestones for much. There's maybe 1 or 2 things that they're used for. But what I've tried to do is, like when I had runestones here, when I pulled those out and upgraded them, I moved them to the next level. And so like when I did all of my runes of sacrifice, and I've got, what is it? I've got 12 runes of sacrifice. No, I've got 10 runes of sacrifice on each side. I've got 2 runes of speed on each side. So the runestones, the regular runestones that I pulled out of there, went to my tier 6 line, just in preparation for when we do the demon invasion and get the items that we need to do the crystal blocks up on top of there. I'll be that much closer to getting my tier 6 done. So I've actually got 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 14, 28 more runestones, and I've got all that I need for the level 6. So like I said, try to work your tier upgrade and your runestone upgrade together. That way, as you're upgrading your runestones in, I don't know, 3 or 4, that you're actually putting the regular ones in your next level, building up for it. Just a tip for efficiency. But anyways, I believe that's going to do it for this show. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you had a good time. Kind of looking forward to seeing how everything works out with the Hungry node. I'm a little excited. I'm a little worried because I don't want to mess it up because of all that I'm putting into it. But you know what? That's what the game is. We come in, we build, we have fun, we derp around. Some stuff works, some stuff doesn't. But it's all in the name of fun and entertainment. So, like I said, I hope you enjoyed the show. If you did, please do click like. And if you have any questions or want to make any comments, make sure to leave that down below. And if you haven't already and want to be notified when we're posting up, make sure to subscribe. But most of all, like I said, I hope you had fun, hope you were entertained, enjoyed the show. I'm Jim Slate. Take care, and God bless.